Watch out! Here are 10 sexual manipulation tactics often used by covert narcissists. Have you ever felt like something just wasn't right in the bedroom? Well, today, we're uncovering the toxic sexual tactics that a female covert narcissist might use to control, manipulate, and exploit her partner. These tactics can be subtle but extremely damaging. Stick around till the end because I'm going to share the number one sign that you might be caught in a cycle of toxic intimacy. Let's jump into the 10 manipulative strategies that could be affecting your relationship, no specific order, just powerful insights to help you spot them. Number 1. Emotional disconnection and sexual indifference. One of the most painful signs of a female covert narcissist is her complete emotional detachment, especially when it comes to intimacy. During sex, she might act as though she's physically present but emotionally checked out, making the whole experience feel robotic and distant. It's as though she's in another world, offering no genuine connection or engagement. Once it's over, she shows no interest in pleasing you, leaving you feeling completely unimportant. The message is clear: she'd rather be doing anything else, and your sexual needs or pleasure are of no concern to her. The entire experience is hollow, leaving you feeling isolated and emotionally disconnected. Number 2. Guilt and shame manipulation. Another common tactic she uses is guilt and shame to manipulate you. When there's a lack of sexual intimacy or when you express desires and fantasies, she will turn the situation around and make you feel like you're to blame. For instance, if you open up about your sexual needs, she may ridicule or shame you, calling your desires childish or immature, like saying, "What are you, 14?" Alternatively, she may guilt-trip you by suggesting that your desires are hurting her feelings, with remarks like, "You're making me feel like I'm not good enough for you." These tactics shift the blame, making you feel guilty for simply expressing your needs, instead of having a healthy, open conversation about it. Number 3. Exploiting your vulnerabilities. A female covert narcissist will not hesitate to use your deepest vulnerabilities against you. For instance, if you open up to her about a painful, traumatic sexual experience from your past, she may initially seem empathetic. However, over time, she will twist that information, turning it into a weapon. She may start blaming all the issues in your relationship on your trauma, conveniently avoiding any responsibility for her own actions. Your past becomes ammunition, used to make you feel unworthy or ashamed, and if the relationship ends, rest assured that this sensitive personal information will likely be used against you in her smear campaign. Number 4. Love and sex bombing. At the beginning of the relationship, a covert narcissist will often use love and sex bombing as a way to hook you. She'll create an overwhelming sense of intimacy, using physical affection and sex to quickly build trust. She'll present herself as the perfect partner, everything you've ever wanted or dreamed of, making you feel as though all your desires and fantasies are coming true. This intense affection is a calculated move to pull you in and make you emotionally dependent on her, all part of the narcissist's strategy to secure your attachment and control. Number 5. Withholding sexual intimacy. As the relationship progresses, a covert narcissist will begin to withdraw emotionally and sexually, abruptly stopping any physical intimacy. This sudden shift will leave you feeling confused and questioning what you did wrong. It will trigger deep feelings of rejection, abandonment, and inadequacy, heightening your anxiety and self-doubt. In your desperation to restore the connection, you may find yourself chasing her, apologizing for things you didn't do, or buying gifts and making promises to improve. Sometimes, this might prompt her to return, but more often, she will remain distant, testing how far you're willing to go to win her back. When she senses that you're losing interest, she'll re-engage, but now, sex becomes a tool to measure your compliance. The push-pull dynamic grows stronger, leaving you emotionally drained as you become increasingly dependent on her approval, affection, and sex. Number 6. Comparisons to others. Another manipulative tactic is comparing you to her past partners or other men, designed to make you feel insecure and inadequate. For example, she might say, "Jake used to love doing that, and it was the best sex I ever had," or "all the other men I've been with had no trouble giving me an orgasm." These comparisons are meant to make you feel like you're falling short in meeting her sexual needs. She wants to plant seeds of doubt about your ability to satisfy her, creating a sense of competition in your mind. This tactic pushes you to work harder and harder to prove yourself, feeding her need for validation while keeping you in a constant state of uncertainty. Number 7. Cheating and emotional affairs. For some female covert narcissists, sex can evolve into an addiction, an ongoing need for validation that they struggle to fulfill. While you might initially feel flattered or think it's exciting, the reality is that if you're unavailable, uninterested, or simply not providing enough affirmation, she'll likely seek validation from someone else. Often, this means turning to an ex or someone with whom she's already formed an emotional attachment. Not only does this cause significant psychological harm to you, but it can also put your physical health at risk, potentially exposing you to STDs or worse. While not all covert narcissists cheat, those who do show little regard for your well-being or health. You can only hope that she holds her own health in high enough regard to avoid putting you in harm's way. Number 8. Criticism and devaluation. Once the devaluation phase takes hold, it spreads throughout every aspect of the relationship, including your sex life. What was once praise now turns to criticism. Instead of admiring you, she nitpicks your body, micromanages your sexual performance, and constantly expresses disappointment, often in subtle, passive-aggressive ways. These are the things you'll start to notice: a sarcastic tone, an offhand comment disguised as a joke, or the dismissive looks and sighs. During sex, she might give you a disgusted look, roll her eyes, or even turn away in disinterest. With each act of criticism, she undermines your confidence and self-worth, making you question your desirability and abilities. While healthy relationships encourage open communication about needs and desires, a narcissist will only use these moments to diminish you, making you feel small or inadequate. This damaging behavior creates an environment where trust and intimacy have no chance to grow. Number 9. Sexual rejection as manipulation. While it's completely normal to turn down sex in a relationship, there's a kind and respectful way to do it that acknowledges your partner's feelings. For example, a healthy partner might say, "I'm not feeling up to it tonight, but how about we plan for tomorrow?" However, for a female covert narcissist, rejection is often used as a power play. She might dismiss your advances entirely or give a cold, indifferent response like, "Not now, I'm busy." The lack of warmth and empathy in her response makes you feel unwanted and invisible, leaving you questioning your attractiveness and worth. But the real motive behind her rejection isn't about sex, it's about control. By withdrawing affection and intimacy, she makes you crave it, leaving you desperate for even the smallest sign of attention. Over time, this dynamic means that any sexual encounter is entirely on her terms, and you end up chasing after her approval like someone dependent on a fix. Number 10. Violating boundaries and sexual coercion. In a relationship with a covert narcissist, she sets all the rules, including the sexual ones. If you ever attempt to establish any boundaries, she'll dismiss your concerns, label you as unreasonable, and completely ignore your needs. This creates an unhealthy power dynamic where your limits are disregarded, and her desires take precedence. For instance, imagine you come home exhausted after a stressful day at work. Maybe you've had a tough conversation with your boss or suffered a financial loss. You seek comfort or understanding, but instead of offering support, she insists on sex, ignoring your emotional needs entirely. In her mind, sex might be the fix for everything. If the situation were reversed, you'd likely be portrayed as insensitive or uncaring. In a narcissistic relationship, you might find yourself coerced or pressured into sexual acts that make you uncomfortable, furthering the imbalance in the relationship and disregarding your own needs and well-being. As promised, one of the clearest signs that you're experiencing toxic sex is how it makes you feel: bad, anxious, insecure, ashamed, or even abused. Instead of feeling connected, valued, or loved, it does the complete opposite. And if you try to bring up your concerns, no matter how calmly or respectfully, you'll likely face gaslighting. You might be told you're too sensitive, exaggerating, or even misremembering things. If this sounds familiar, it's a sign that you may need professional support. The psychological and emotional toll of being in a relationship with a covert narcissist can be immense, especially when it comes to intimacy. If you're in this situation, seeking therapy with someone who specializes in narcissistic abuse recovery is crucial for your healing. If this video resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Let's keep building a supportive community where we can heal and grow together. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.